From Toronto, Canada, here's the Getting Real with Phina show. And here's your host, Phina.
Hookups, as defined by Justin Garcia, is an uncommitted sexual encounter between consenting individuals who are not romantic partners or dating each other. Others also agree that hookup culture is one that accepts and encourages casual sexual encounters, including one-night stand and other related activities without necessarily including emotional intimacy, bonding, or a committed relationship. The hookup culture became more frequent from the 1920s when automobiles like cars and even the great entertainment like the movie theaters were invented. People were no longer caught under the watchful eyes of their family or their parents. By the 1960s, young adults were becoming more sexually liberated, especially due to the rise of feminism. In 2010, in a study of 832 college students, 26% of women and 50% of men reported feeling positive after a hookup. And 49% of women and 26% of men reported a negative reaction. This suggests that may benefit more from this so-called hookup culture in terms of satisfaction, while in turn, women might have lower statistics due to the shame around sexual satisfaction. Today on your show, Getting Real with Phina, we are going to be talking about this very important topic, the sexual hookup culture. In the studio today, I have some beautiful youths who have become my in-house guests. Uti, thank you so much. I'm so happy to have you back.
I'm honored.
And Buki, my number one. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. Yes. Today's topic is going to be very interesting. Sexual hookup culture. Yeah. It has become an thing. In my days or in the olden days, sex is not something we just say. You know, but the word, we're so free right now. Everybody just talk the word sex. We're so free to talk about it. And this is what I want us to talk about today. You know, people are having casual sex. And who is gaining? Who is having that satisfaction between the man and the woman?
I just think that when it comes to women hooking up, there is nothing to gain from us in general when it comes to hooking up. Because women are just naturally emotional beings, the chances of us getting attached with each person significantly increases.
The more I think about this, I am actually now standing much more on the side that men benefit from hookup culture.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The reason being, I realize now that there is a physiological urge for men to satisfy, like, having sex. Like, we just need it, right? And so from that perspective, like, we have no emotional attachment. I think for a lot of guys, they would prefer not to have, like, an emotional attachment. And I think it also depends where you're at in terms of, like, your maturity, your age, and how many people you've had sex with too. But for a lot of guys, I would imagine, you know, you're not interested in actually having, like, there's a lot of baggage that comes in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
That a lot of men are interested in. We don't want that, but we want the sex.
Yeah.
Right? So I could see how it's more beneficial for men to have hookup culture, because now we can have that side facilitated. It's not even choice per se. It's just the fact that, like, I need to have this, get this done, right? And I could see how it's not beneficial for women, because traditionally, or I guess like law of averages, a lot of women actually gain an emotional attachment from having a sexual interaction with somebody. A lot of men don't. Like, a lot of men, literally, it's just the physiological aspect of everything, right? So I would say from that perspective, and again, I can only speak for myself, that hookup culture is definitely more beneficial for men because you get satisfied and there's no emotional attachment to it as well too. So strategically, it just seems better for us. And I think for a lot of men, so I'm very big into intent. I always look into the intent of my actions, right? And I think for a lot of men, when they're pursuing women, all they're interested in is sex. In their mind, they may even trick themselves into like, I want a relationship with this person, but in reality, they just want the physical relationship, right? And I'll even relate that to the whole idea of the friend zone, right? So a lot of guys get upset because like, oh, I got friend zoned. But in reality, if you actually wanted to be in a relationship with her, you'd be okay with a friend zone. So it's like, clearly you just want to get in her pants. Because that's what you're actually going after at the end of the day, right? If you wanted to have intimacy, because you're speaking about that too, intimacy is being able to be seen and heard by another person and be feeling comfortable with that.
Yeah.
So somebody's your
exclusive.
friend. Exactly. So somebody's your friend, right? You should be okay with that, right? If that's what you're looking for at the end of the day. But for a lot of men, I think purely what they're looking for in terms of an interaction with a lot of women, and I'm not trying to say this 100% of the time, sometimes you are genuinely going after a woman because you want her to be in your life, right? If you create that emotional connection with her, but for the most part, you're not looking for intimacy. And I think that's also because a lot of men don't live in an emotional world.
Wow.
And I don't think it's because like I'm saying misogynistically we don't care about emotions. I think the world doesn't care about a man's emotions.
Wow.
So because of that, it's like we don't really like...
We don't care about the men's emotions?
Yeah.
Society.
Society.
Yeah.
So I don't, yeah. So like, or maybe traditionally, right? So we don't, like we're okay in not getting that in a relationship as long as we get the physiological side. And again, I can only speak for myself, right? But again, I can understand why hookup culture is more beneficial for men because we are remiss of the actual emotional intimacy aspect of it. Unless there is somebody you're very much so interested in and like you're in love with her and you want this intimate relationship with her and you want her to be your wife, then I could understand you wanting that emotional relationship with her at the back end of things, right? I don't know what the equation is required to actually get to that point, right? But I will say, like, for myself, it's far and few between I actually have an emotional connection with a woman.
And because of what you just said, I'm really wanting to know, people, as a man, you meet a girl, and what does it take to really want that relationship to lead to marriage? And what does it take for you to want a relationship to just be a one-night stand and that is it? What is the bridge, please? I'd like to know.
For me?
Yeah. You're speaking for your...
for all men. So I'm going to say for all men, right? I would say stability, right? So when I'm at a point in my life where I think I have everything in line and, you know, like my business is working correctly, my family's okay, like everything's pretty much stable, and I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, okay, you know what? Now I actually do need a wife because I want kids. So again, it comes down to intent, right? I want a family. Well, I cannot have a family by myself. I need someone to be of that, like to create that family with me. So I think when a man is at that point, then they are looking for a wife. Then they want to have that relationship with a woman where it's actually more established on intimacy, right? Not sexual intimacy. I'm saying like emotional intimacy, right? Where you can build with them, right? But if you're not at that point in your life and you're just sort of, you know, you're young, you're moving through life, yeah.
I have seen some guys who are at that point, they have it all.
Yeah.
And they meet a girl who is also okay.
Yeah.
You know. But my question is this. What does it take? Because sometimes you see a girl, she's good, she's everything. And this guy just wants to have a one-night stand and go.
Yeah.
And maybe meet another girl who doesn't even meet the standard of the other girl. And they marry this girl. So what is the difference? What separates these two persons? What makes you see this woman as a one-night stand, as fit for a one-night stand, and see this other woman or this girl as fit for a wife?
I think there's a big...
Do you understand what I mean now?
I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
and I'm going to employ one of Big Sean's lyrics, right? Can't be the right girl if it's not the right time.
Wow. Can't be the right girl if it's not the right time. So when is the right time?
Again, I think like when you're ready, intent. It comes down to intent for everything. When I am ready to have a family, I want you to be like my queen or my wife or the mother of my children, right? And I am in a position where that makes sense, then that works. 'Cause I've been in my life where I've met the right girl, but I was not at the right time in my life at all. So it just didn't work out because I was still like, you know, like a young, you know, the one night stand, is she physically attractive? That's pretty much it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like
For one night stand?
yeah. She physically attractive, and
Okay.
that's plausible for one night stand. I guess like for more than a one night stand, there's a whole body of things I need to see. Is she physically attractive? How does she socialize with other people? What are her values? Do they align with mine? How is her family? What's she doing in her life? You know, like what's like her like? It's like religious. It's like basically you're doing like it's like doing you're reading the resume. Like you're hiring somebody for a job. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Whereas if I need a contractor to do something for the short term, can they do the job? Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. Wow. Wow.
For me personally, I've always hated hookup culture because of the fact that I'm very emotional. I'm a very emotional person, and I don't like the idea of getting attached to multiple people. So I've always been very intentional when it comes to dating. And to touch on what Oti said earlier, part of the things that I look for when deciding whether to date somebody, because I want to date for marriage, I look for does he know who he is? Is he a provider? Does he have the ability to lead? Does he have all the fundamental basic things that a man needs to be a man so that he can feel comfortable in giving himself fully to a woman? If he doesn't have those things, then it's really hard for him to be in a committed relationship. The tendency to want to stray away and hook up is there. So that's why I date with intention, and I look for men that have those basic foundation. It's a lot easier to get to know them. They're a lot ready to open up to you and for something serious to happen.
No, I've just listened to the two of you. You had a full list of what you want.
Yeah.
You also have another long list of what you want from a man.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think these are some of the things that is encouraging hookup culture today? Because we are looking for so much. The man is looking for so much. The woman is looking for so much. Mm-hmm. So what we do, the little we think, because we think, okay, what we have is little. So let's just do one night stand and go. Because this is not, standard enough for me to put in the house.
I mean, like I would agree on some levels and some not. For a lot of, I think, I think for hookup culture, why it happens with a lot of guys is the timing right. Am I meeting like the right girl at the right spot, and is she willing to go home with me? That's like pretty much it, right? At the end of the day. But I think possibly, honestly, I think the biggest thing with hookup culture is a lot of people are not looking for a lot of things. A lot of people are just looking for physical connection. And I would even say maybe like one thing that actually like further pushed hookup culture is like the pandemic. We were all sort of like alone for ourselves for a long period of time. But now we're all back out again. You just want to be with somebody. That's it. Like you don't really want to be with them for the long term. You just want to be with somebody, right? So I would say that. Like I think like a lot of hookup culture is just based on the fact that you're not looking for a lot. You're just looking for, are you physically attractive? Will you sleep with me?
And apart from the pandemic, do we agree that alcohol and drugs also contribute? Because a lot of young people today, which is going to be another topic of this show, alcohol and drugs, is getting so normal today. So I think don't you think people are doing things they normally would not want to do after taking these substances?
Yeah, you have to look at the root cause of what's leading them to abuse these substances. Too much of anything is bad for you. Mm-hmm. So what are they running from? A lot of the times when people use alcohol or drugs, they're trying to escape their reality. So are they currently depressed? Are they going through some things that's making them want to run away and abusing these substances to run away from their current issues, sleeping around to live this fantasy world so they don't have to face their reality. So identifying what the root cause of it, a lot of times it's just therapy that's needed. Therapy and spiritual deliverance, spiritual deliverance. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. And Uti? Oti, I keep calling you Uti.
No, it's pretty, yeah, we're good. So like, you're asking me like what?
The relationship between drugs and alcohol. And
well,
the
drugs
pandemics and everything.
Honestly, I think drugs and alcohol have been around for a long period of time. I mean,
but it's not the way it is today.
I feel like those the 80s, those the 70s, these were all prevalent times of drugs. I would say maybe like liberal policies or like the liberalization of cultures possibly also what's like allowed hookup culture to become more prevalent because I'm like feminism or the current wave of feminism that we're in is a lot more about sexual liberation and women being able to take more control of like their sexuality, right? And I think maybe that's sort of what's created this aspect of freedom in having just hookups with people, which is ironically has sort of, somehow become more negative towards women in the first place, right? But I think women being more open to having sex probably, and in an environment of alcohol and drug usage at the same time too, has sort of created an avenue where now, yes, these things happen more like regularly. So like, for example, like I know like in the States you have Amber Rose has the slut walk, whatever, right? So it's like this
Wow,
whole,
what's that?
yeah, so it's basically, it's like, I feel like when I was younger, there was this thing, like an aspect of slut shaming, right? So it was like if a woman is sleeping around, you'd like, even the women would like punish her,
Yeah.
right? And like, they would admonish her in society. Now it's like, oh yeah, you're getting our girlfriend, that's dope. Trying to say, so I feel like, I'm jokier about it, but like, I feel like which is good, that we've gotten away from shaming people for their sexual preferences, right? Has allowed women to be more liberal with their sexual decisions, and that's what's created a more easy avenue for hookup culture to exist, right? Yeah.
So what do you think can be done to reduce? I know it's really it's crazy right now.
We all need to revert to Islam.
Sorry.
It touches on the whole values, a lot of us, we lost our sense of morality and values, so we reduced the idea of being intimate with someone and having sex as easy as shaking somebody's hand.
Oh my God.
So sex has become that simple. So I think that, building that value and, highlighting the importance of connecting with somebody, being in the confines of marriage, procreating, that kind of thing, remembering that there is a lot of beauty experiencing that sexual pleasure with your partner. People need to remember that instead of having it stripped down and having the values like reduced to nothing.
Talking about values, I just realized, or maybe I'm wrong, it's like guys don't even like good girls anymore.
Talk about it.
Elaborate on that. Elaborate.
These days, a girl who says, I'm a virgin, that's a big word today, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, a girl who says, I'm a virgin and I want to keep my virginity. Do you guys even...
I don't even hear
I
that
want to
often.
keep my virginity?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously that's going to be a turn off for a lot of dudes. It's like, okay, I mean, I'm joking about it, but it's like, if you're interested in having...
Excuse me?
No, but if you're interested in having sex with a girl and a woman's telling you, I'm not going to have sex with you, like, you're probably going to move on to the next one. Who will? Right?
Easy.
But that's not just like...
But it's your tensions,
okay,
though.
but that's also like, I mean, that's a very small parameter of a box of what a good girl is, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of guys, like, again, from my experience...
So what's a good girl?
I mean, that's subject. Like, is she sane? I'm trying to say, like, does she is she nice? Does she treat you well? Right? Like things of that nature. Right? So it really depends. Like, good. The whole idea of good. What is good? Is very amalgamous, right? But I think a lot of guys. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a lot of things, right? So you said first things first. Virgin. A lot of guys will not want to have sex with a virgin because we don't want.
Why?
Because we don't want that. Okay, we don't want that emotional connection. If you have sex with a virgin, it's responsibility. It's like I'm the first person you're having sex with. I can ruin or make your whole perception of man. I don't want. That's a lot of pressure. I don't want that. There'd be like
What is wrong with this generation?
No, I mean, I guess like that's fundamentally different than you, 100%. But I think, again, like I said, it depends. If I am young and I meet a girl and now we're at this age where she's a virgin, I'm a virgin, and now we want to both lose that together, yes, sure, 100%, that makes sense, right? But if I'm like, I'm 30, right? So it's like if I'm 30 and I meet a virgin, first of all, scary. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like why are you a virgin? Right?
Interesting.
Well, it's true. It's the truth, right? But yeah, you're going to ask yourself a lot of questions. Now, let me rephrase that though. You're saying just a good girl. A good girl's coming. There's so many good girls. I don't think men don't want good girls, right?
Okay.
I think some men are interested in crazy women because like they're interesting and like they're fun and entertaining, right?
Wow.
100%, right? But Like, like it's not a healthy thing to do.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of men who like good women. You want to be around good people in general, right? So you want someone that makes you feel good about being. You want to be around people that make you feel good about being around them. You don't want to be around assholes. You don't want to be around someone that's going to make you feel like you're always walking on eggshells, right? You want to be around someone that's just like, like a breath of fresh air. It's refreshing to be around them, right? So I guess I would define that as a good person. But again, that's relative to like, each individual person, like what is good, right, per se. Yeah.
Yeah. You see, we have been talking, everything Buki has been saying, you have been saying. It's all about satisfying the main ego. Everything is about what men want. What men want. Men want good girls. Men want this. Men want that. What do women want? But we'll do that when we come back. Let's go on a quick break. We shall be right back. Welcome back to your show. Honestly, it's been very interesting, especially backstage. I've been having fun. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. What do women want too?
I ask myself this every day.
That's such a broad question.
And which also will lead us to what do men and women really want in a relationship? Especially in this generation.
Okay, so I think those are two separate questions. Buki, were you in it?
As far as what women want in a relationship?
Because he had a long list of, they don't want virgin.
No, that's okay.
They don't want a virgin. That's settled.
No, okay. I'll elaborate, right? If you wouldn't mind me, but like,
yes,
okay.
please.
So I think at the end of the day, what people want in a relationship is intimacy, right? Now, intimacy is not. People correlate intimacy with sex. However, they are not directly correlated. Sex can be a byproduct of intimacy, but you can have sex without intimacy, which is what I think hookup culture is. Intimacy is being seen and heard by somebody and feeling comfortable with that, right? So I think that's what you want. You want somebody that feels like home, right? And in a relationship, like mutually, right? So
both parties now.
Yeah, I think that's the most simple way to put it. You want someone that feels like home.
Yeah.
I can share anything and everything with you. I feel like I have a life partner. You make
We
me
can
feel
share the same toothbrush.
Not to that extent.
Yeah.
Boundaries.
We can share a lot of other things, but I think that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. You want to have someone you feel actually honestly comfortable with. You're not putting on appearances. You're not trying to be somebody that you're not. You just can go home, lay down your hair, whatever it is, put your hair in a bonnet, whatever it is, right? And like just be with that person and you're fine with it. I think that's what everybody wants in a relationship. Yeah.
Buki?
That sense of security, like you said, feeling like you're at home. And I'm a sensual person, so intimacy is very important for me. And that's another reason why I don't value hookup culture, because that sense of intimacy is not there. When you're able to just, for men, let down your armor with one woman, and for women to open up in a relationship where, your emotional, physical and spiritual needs and our mental needs are catered to, that's the most beautiful thing that can happen.
Yeah. And as you guys are talking, I'm just thinking, when we talk about hookup culture or sexual hookup stuff, a lot of guys do hookups. They date multiple girls, right? And then girls too, on the other hand, date multiple men. But these two people are not addressed the same way. The guys that do maybe have multiple baby mamas or just hook up with girls are not so looked upon like bad guys, unlike when a woman maybe have 4 kids for 4 different men, or even 2 kids for 2 different men, or a young girl who is just doing hookup, sleep with about 2 or 3 guys. Why are they perceived differently? Why are they addressed or looked upon differently? The girl is being seen as, she's a bad girl.
You know what? I'm going to counter this, actually. I think, there's a group in Toronto. There's a large, I think it's a WhatsApp or Face group. It's called Are We Dating the Same Guy?
Yeah, I heard of it on the radio.
Yeah. See, it's getting big now, right? Yeah. And obviously it's for women to see if they're dating the same guy. And I think like in Toronto at the very least, it's actually like for a lot of women looked down upon. You know, maybe it's expected per se, but that's more so of a pejorative, right?
Yeah.
And then men try to create the same group. Are we dating the same way? Yeah, right? And it was just laughed at, you know, try to say, because it was like, this is a joke, right?
Yeah.
So I think like, you know, we're in an age now where that perception is switched, right? So I can speak towards Toronto specifically. I think if a woman is like has multiple partners in the city, you're almost sort of expecting that, right? And you technically you're not even allowed to really be angry at it per se, because then that sort of makes you like a weird guy for some people that they think, right?
Why that?
I think I'm gonna speak towards Toronto, like you're maybe that's like an anti-feminist like perspective, like, you know, like, oh, you're worried about how many people I slept with, well, like that's not, you're not secure in yourself then, right? Or something, maybe that's perspective, right? Whereas I think if like a guy's sleeping around, it's funny actually, because I think there's a duality to it. I think that they're like on one level like they're spoken downwards upon, right? But on the same level, I think like some girls are like, oh, that's marketing. You know, like this guy is able to clearly there's a reason why girls like him, right? Like,
wow.
I want to see what that is, right? Yeah.
Crazy. But you know, I've asked this before, and I'm asking it again. What do girls really want, and what do boys really want in this generation? I know you must have, you know, touched it.
Yeah.
Like you want a girl who may not necessarily be a virgin, you know, but I'm asking again, what is it the youth of today, what do you really want in a girl or in a boy?
For me, I'm not going to speak for all women. I'll just speak for myself as far
But
as...
you are representing all women.
Yeah.
Pressure.
Got a lot on your shoulders.
As far as like what I look for in a premise of a relationship.
And a guy to like settle with tomorrow.
Yeah, like I said, I want someone who is confident in themselves, who knows God, who is driven, who has ambition, who is masculine as well, and not afraid to take charge and be assertive and lead, and someone who knows how to express himself emotionally and communicate. That's such a big thing that I feel like we're lacking, and knows how to communicate and be intimate. And also someone that wants to provide and take care of me.
Yeah.
It sounds simple, right?
Yeah. I think everybody wants the same thing, right?
Wait, I agree. I'll ask you a question too.
Yeah.
What's easier to answer, what you want in a man or what you don't want in a man?
That's a good one.
Yeah, what I don't want comes from experience of, you know, dating.
Yeah.
And seeing, you know, men try different things, and I'm just like, ooh, that doesn't flow too well with me. So having that...
And what are these different things?
A man who's not generous, I don't like that. Because I'm a very generous person. I like to give back to the community and that kind of thing. So I want somebody who also has the same mindset. Someone who's very close-minded. And I'm a very free-spirited person. So I want someone who's always down for an adventure, who's open-minded, down to learn something new, and a good communicator is very important.
But I heard it's always not good to marry your kind of person. If you're cold, you don't marry a cold person. If you're hot, you don't marry a hot person. Is that right?
It's like opposites attract.
Yeah, opposite attract.
Yeah.
Opposite.
Yeah. I would say that for me, I'm naturally a hotter, a feistier person. So I'm always drawn to men who are a little bit more chill and calm to balance me out. So it's like a perfect bowl of soup.
Yeah.
So what do guys want?
And a woman? Well, I think like the most important, okay, there's a couple of things, right? I would say obviously she needs to be physically attractive, right? Whatever that means for somebody. Now, I'm not trying to say that there's a universal physically attractiveness, right?
Sure.
But you need to be physically attractive for obvious, I think
because what's attractive to me may not be attractive to you.
Exactly. But I think it starts with that. And then past that, I would say probably a lot of similar things. Is she a nice girl? Like, is she, like, then when I say nice, like, are you just a nice person? Because there's a lot of mean people in this world, right? And you don't want to be around those mean people, right? So does she treat me well? I think like there's other things that like it really depends. You want someone that comes from a good family, but like the older that I get, the more I'm open to like differences. As long as you're a good person, like, I'm open to variances in that too. Are you interested? And if I'm looking for a long-term relationship too, are you open to having, are you open to getting married? Are you open to having kids? Are you open to having a family? Like, where's your direction in life? What do you want, right? I think those are important things. I think, yeah, that I was, and I guess if I could speak on the opposite side, like what you don't want, right?
Yeah.
I think mental health is of like utmost importance these days, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, not only, but it, like, again, this goes back maybe to be a nice person. Not only your own mental health, but like how do you affect my mental health?
True.
At the same time too. True. And more so than that, like, how do our values align? Are we going to be able to grow together, right? Or are we going to grow apart?
Yeah.
I would say those.
And with the rate of divorce today.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, on that topic, I've actually come to the conclusion these days that, like, based on how prevalent like divorce and breakups are, every relationship I go into now, I basically understand, hey, there's a strong likelihood this may not work out.
Wow.
Right? So, but I'm not saying I'm going there planning for it to fail.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's almost.
I am scared for you.
No, I'm just saying, but it's also like you want to date someone where it's like, if this goes the wrong way, are you going to try to burn my house down?
Yeah.
Or are you like,
we can be cordial if we break up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like it's highly likely that this relationship may not work out. Even I'm not saying like we may get married, but even if that happens, like, are we going to be able to still respect our friendship and us as human beings enough to actually have this be cordial and not try to harm each other?
And this is why you have a lot of baby mamas and baby daddies, because everybody is thinking, oh, it doesn't matter. Once this ends and we have kids, we should be able to just, continue be friends and,
Well, no, okay. I'm not trying to say I go into relationships with an exit plan. I'm looking for, are you spiteful? Like, I'm trying to see how do you treat people you don't like?
Yeah.
If you're like a super aggressive person, you're like throwing bottles, trying to cut people. I probably don't want to date you because like when you're angry at me, is that going to be me? Most likely, yes. I dated somebody once. We were watching one of those murder mystery movies, and she was like, "You know what? The only person I could imagine murdering is you." and then she elaborated. She's like, because I love you, and I can't understand harming somebody I don't have an emotional attachment with. So because I love you, you're the only person I could see actually killing at the same time too.
And after that, did you continue the relationship?
I'm alive.
How did it go when it ended?
Yeah, right?
Oh my God, guys, thank you so much. I know we have talked so much about hookup culture, and we have all talked about, what we want. It doesn't matter if you're a virgin or not. I don't know why I keep repeating that word, but you said it. It doesn't matter whether you're a virgin or not. But I want you to give your last words, how we can at least reduce the rate of hookup culture. We can end the show from there.
Okay, I'll put it to you like this. Early in my life, I was very much so like into hookup culture. And then I met somebody and we were actually able to have an intimate relationship. And I realized the value in that in itself, right? Like, it's a lot different having sex with somebody that you can actually say, I love you, and you mean it, versus like, I'm not going to talk to you in 2 weeks from now, right? And like, you realize like, it's just a better experience. And, in learning that, I realized that there's less value in like the numbers of people you're gonna hook up with at the end of the day. It's like the quality of the person itself. So I would say that, like, quality is always better than quantity.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Buke?
To add to that, to attract those quality people, you also have to look at yourself. Have you spent enough time with yourself where you know what your values are, you know who you are, what you have to offer to this world? You love yourself enough that when you meet people, you're able to decipher who's right for me and who isn't and filter it out. So bringing back that value you have for yourself, the values that you have for sex and relationship and intimacy is what I feel like would reduce the rate of, the hookup culture, and paying attention less to what social media has to say about that.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people like to do what the society is doing, but I think we should reduce hookup culture individually. It has to be intentional. You have to think about your head. You have to think about STDs. You have to think about the babies you bring into this world to broken homes, because a broken person makes a broken society. So we should think deeper. We should I still believe in morality. It's very important. If you value morality, you will reduce a lot of things. Thank you so much, Buki. Thank you, Uti. Thank you so much. I love you guys. If I have my way, we could talk all day, all night. But as usual, we have to go. And thank you for my sponsors, my production crew, backstage. Thank you so much. It's a full house by the grace of God. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I can't say enough thank you. My clothing line, my stylist, my fashion designer, everybody that makes this show a dream come true. Thank you so much. And I don't forget my roots. I must say, Oba Tokbae. Thank you, guys. And this is the end of your show, Getting Real with Phina. See you next time.